What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we're just going to learn everything nursing, where y'all just come and study with me. So if you're the kind that wants to study ahead in advance and you're not in the nursing program yet, this video is for you. If you're already in the nursing program and it's your first semester, this video is for you. Basically, in this video, I'm just basically worried about stats we need to know. Like, we gotta know numbers, we gotta know details, we gotta know temperature. Like, we need to know certain numbers, certain stats that we just have to know. It has to be committed to memory. It has to become common sense. It's never gonna leave you throughout your nursing career, and you just gotta know it. So this series is gonna be basically on stats we must know as nurses. Pre-nursing students and nursing students can benefit from this video because at the end of the day, if you know that you know that you know that you know you're going to be a nurse, then you know that you know that you know you're going to need to know these numbers. All right, I've created a Quizlet. So I'm looking over, if I look over here, it's because I'm looking at my computer because I made a little Quizlet flashcard. So as I was studying, I'm basically in my first semester of nursing school, and I created a Quizlet as I was studying on different stats that I have to memorize. And I haven't memorized all of them yet, but I plan to after this video. So if y'all don't know already, but I just create these videos for myself personally. I hate reading, and literally I drive a lot, so in my car I just play my YouTube video and listen to different things, and I ask audio questions. So it's like an audio Quizlet kind of thing where I'm basically going to ask questions, wait for a minute, and then answer it. So as you ride it through your car or whatnot, you can just be answering the questions as you go, and at one point it's going to be committed to memory because you hear it every freaking day. The whole point of nursing is to make it part of your daily activities. Make it like walking. Like, you have to do it every day for it to just stick, okay? And I know we're busy, we got a lot going on, so here we go. Let's just go ahead and start. So the first question I have here is the normal temperature. So what is the normal temp for your body? And it is 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit, and just know that that is going to be 37 degrees Celsius. All right, next, what is a temp for fever for an adult? It is 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and that will be 38 degrees Celsius or greater. All right, so what would the temperature be for hypothermia? That will be 95 degrees Fahrenheit or less, which will be 35 degrees Celsius. So remember the magic number 95 degrees Fahrenheit for hypothermia. We got 98.6 to 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit for normal temperature, and we got another 37 degrees Celsius for that one at least. And then we got the fever, and the fever is 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit. What temperature should the nurse rewarm a patient undergoing frostbite? Someone is really cold, has frostbite. What temperature should the nurse use to rewarm this patient undergoing frostbite? And I got this from the med-surg book. It said it is 104 to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. The med-surg ATI book states that it should be 104 to 108 degrees Fahrenheit to rewarm someone undergoing frostbite. So frostbite can cause blisters, which may rupture and cause an open wound. What should be administered to prevent complications related to bacterial growth if frostbite blisters erupt? And that would be tetanus, toxoid, intramuscular vaccine, IM, okay? Any open wound that a patient experiences, they're getting that tetanus shot, period. Whether it's from a snake bite, whether it's from a frostbite that has created an open wound, any open wound, they need a tetanus shot. That's just a given. Just know that, period. So these are the degrees that we need to know for the IV injections, all right? So we need to know our intradermal, our subcutaneous, and our intramuscular degrees. So what would intradermal be? Intradermal is 5 to 15 degrees. All right, a 1/4 to 1/2, 25 or 27 needle is used, and the angle of administration is 5 to 15 degrees, the dosage given intradermally is small, usually less than 0.5 milliliters. Okay? Intradermal. All right, now subcutaneous. What would the degree be for subcutaneous, sub-Q? If you guys said 45 to 90, you are right. 45 to 90 degrees is what you do for a sub-Q shot. And then we have our IM, intramuscular shot, and that would be 72 to 90 degrees for the IM shot. All right? So know that sub-Q and intramuscular all end with 90. So the top number will be 90 for sub-Q and intramuscular. But the bottom number for sub-Q is 45. And the bottom number for IM is 72. All right? Now, we have our acid-base balance values. All right? So I'm going to ask you now, what would the pH be? You guys should know this from chemistry. 7.35 to 7.45. We have our partial carbon dioxide, which would be what? 35 to 45. That's where your lungs are. And then you have your bicarb, where your kidneys are located. That number would be what? 22 to 26. All right, so now we're going to move on to ice chips, all right? All right, so listen to this. Water doubles in amount when converted to ice, all right? So if you had 4 ounces of water, how much would it be in ice chips? 8 ounces, all right? So just know that if you have water and it turns into ice chips, you know ice expands twice the amount, so just know that it really is 8 ounces. 6 ounces water, 12 ounces ice chips. Got it? Get it? Got it? Okay, great. Measurements. Measurements you got to know to do your conversions. They're going to be on the test that you take to convert things. So just know that 1 ounce, right? How many tablespoons in 1 ounce? And how many milliliters in 1 ounce? In 1 ounce, you have 2 tablespoons and you have 30 milliliters. In 1 cup, how many milliliters do you have? In 1 cup, you have 180 milliliters. All right? All right, so here, in 1 tablespoon, how many milliliters do you have and how many teaspoons do you have? So this is how I think of it. In 1 tablespoon, I think about 3 little teaspoons in that 1 tablespoon. So that's how I know that in 1 tablespoon, I have 3 teaspoons. Just picture 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon. If y'all visual learners, it might help. I'm not sure. And then if you know that 1 teaspoon equals 5 milliliters, and you have those 3 teaspoons in that 1 tablespoon, of course, 5 times 3 is what? 15. So that means you have 15 milliliters in 1 tablespoon, right? Then we have here, 1 kilogram equals how many pounds? 2.2 pounds, correct. All right, next, in 1 inch, how many centimeters do you have? Yes, you have 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. All right, so let's talk about trailing zeros and leading zeros. You do not want to have any leading zeros. All right, so let's say you have 5.0 or 5. Which one would be correct? 5. You don't need a leading zero. It's not okay in the medical field. You do not want it. It will be 5 at all times, not 5.0. But trailing zeros, which is before the number, is very important. It helps us signify the placeholder when it comes to giving medication administration. So if you had 0.3 or 0.3, which one will be correct? The 0.3. We love our trailing zeros. We need those. They're more specific. The reason why you don't want to use a leading zero, which is a zero in front of the number, which is 5.0, is because it could be confused for a 50. And you do not want to give 50 of anything if it's supposed to be 5. That is detrimental to the patient. I don't know if that makes sense. If you look at my flashcards, you'll see what I mean. On my Quizlet, like I said, the link will be below. All right, doses for thousands. You got to use proper commas. 5,000 with a comma. 5,000, not 5,000. You got to put a comma with our thousands, all right? Round to the 10th place for numbers greater than 1. Don't forget that, because you can really get an answer wrong when it comes to doing calculations if you do not round to the 10th place for a number greater than 1. Number greater than 1, you round to the 10th place. Number less than 1, you round to the thousandth place. Let's say you had 1.23. If you round into the 10th place, that would be 1.2. All right? If you round into the thousandth place, that would be 1.23. You add that 3. That 3 is the thousandth place. All right? What does alert and oriented times 4 mean? Okay? That means the patient is alert and oriented to 1. Person, 2. Place, 3. Time, and 4. Situation. Person, place, time, situation. They know who they are. They know where they are. They know what time it is, as in what year. And they know the situation, like what's wrong with them, why they're there. So they know who they are. They know where they're located. They know what year it is. And they know the situation that they're there for. Now we're going to move on to BMIs. We need to know our body mass index, and we have to know the exact values for each. We have a few categories for BMIs, body mass index. We have an underweight, normal, overweight, obesity class 1, obesity class 2, and extreme obesity. So you give me the values for underweight, normal, overweight, obesity class 1, obesity class 2, and extreme obesity. Let's start off with underweight. If you said less than 18.5, that is correct. Normal. Yes, 18.5 to 24.9. Overweight, 25 to 29.9. Obesity class 1, 30 to 34.9. And obesity class 2, 35 to 39.9. And extreme obesity will be 40. Remember the lower values, because if you know that, then you know what the range would be, correct? So we have underweight, which is less than 18.5. We have normal, which is 18.5. We have overweight, which is 25. We have obesity class 1, which is 30. And then we have obesity class 2, which is 35. And then we have extreme obesity, which is 40. So if you know those numbers, and you will definitely know the range.